Welcome to another edition of Buy or Sell on Tech Sideline as we take a look at some potential outcomes in the upcoming game between Virginia Tech and NC State. I'm Riley Klaus, and today I'm joined by Chris Coleman, David Cunningham, Andy Bitter, and Nick Brown is helping us behind the scenes produce the show. If you're new to Buy or Sell, here's how it works. Every single week, we have 5 lines in which we will all buy it if we think that event will happen, or sell it if we think it will not. You yourself can participate in these polls as well at techsideline.com, so make sure to interact with the action in the future. Well, before we start talking about this upcoming game, let's recap what happened last week as Virginia Tech took on Wofford. The first line was Kyron Drones. He did have 3+ touchdowns on the day. Wofford did not score 10 or more points, so everyone but Chris got that first line right. Everyone except for myself and the fans got that second one right. The Hokies did win by 25+ points, which helped a lot of people out there except for Chris and the fans. And then Wofford plays 2 QBs was actually maybe not as easy as we thought it could be. No. As it ended up,
but it was a helmet that came
first quarter. Exactly.
It was perfect. It was great. Andy and I looked at each other in the press box and we're like,
"It counts." It counts.
I saw the helmet rolling away. I'm like, did that Virginia Tech player cause that, or did that just come off because he doesn't have to come off the field if a Virginia Tech player caused that? And then we saw him running off, took one snap, and cashed that buy or sell right there.
Cashed it for everybody,
just like we all drew it up.
Yeah, yes,
everybody except for Nick.
Yes, except Nick on that one. Now, the last one was 50+% third down conversion for Virginia Tech. Only myself and Nick did get that one correct, but overall, a really solid week from everyone, which then when we take a look at how things are shaping up on the entire season, at the moment, currently in first is Will with 70% success, followed by in second place, myself, Andy, and Chris at 65%. And then tied behind that, we have David, Nick, and the fans all at 50%. So everyone's doing okay this season.
The house last year, you were like, what? You're like one pick above 50%?
The house is taking a bath this year.
I think...
where would Gio be in the standings?
Probably like 35%, somewhere around there.
I think the lines are going to get significantly more difficult because I think the line maker, our producer, said, you know what? These Wofford lines were too easy. So the lines this week are they're much more complex.
They are. So let's talk about the upcoming lines because they're different than what some of those past ones were. There's a lot of combined stats this week is kind of the theme here. So let's jump into buy or sell versus NC State. Line number 1, buy or sell that the teams combine for a 65% or better red zone touchdown percentage.
I bought it. Just I didn't study red zone defense or offense for either team. I just know both teams have a bad defense, so I bought it.
That one's very specific. I sold this one just because I even though I think NC State has a very good offense, I don't trust Virginia Tech to finish drives necessarily against power conference defense. So until I see them do a little bit more of that and a little less John Love in those situations, I will sell.
I'm selling it. I think I envision it being like something like, I don't know, like 3 for 5 combined in the red zone, which of course is not 65%. 65 feels like a high percentage. If it was like 60, I'd be like, maybe.
Look at the game notes.
Well, we got a mixed bag in terms of that one. I'm going to buy it. I think for similar reasons Chris laid out. Nick is going to buy it. Will is buying it, but the fans are with Andy and David in terms of selling that line.
Of course they are.
Yeah, so it's a big number, but that is line number 1. Line number 2, keep it with the 65% theme. Buy or sell that all quarterbacks in this game combine for 65% or better completion percentage.
I bought it. I look at Bailey. He's over almost 72% for the season. Now I've seen Virginia Tech really start to use those running backs as checkdowns over the last couple of weeks. So I bought it.
I sold this one. Just seems like a high number for Kyron Drones has historically not been a really high percentage passer in this whole thing, and you get pressured, you start throwing the ball away. I don't know if Bailey can keep up that 70+ number all the time, even against the Virginia Tech defense. It's not that great. So I sold this one just because I think 65 sounds very high for a combined number.
I got some trivia for you before I sold it, and this is why. In wins, Kyron Drones completes 66% of his passes. In losses, Kyron Drones completes 55% of his passes. I think it's probably going to be an NC State win. CJ Bailey, as we pointed out, is like 71% on the year. I think it'll be very, very close. I think we're talking like 63, 64%. And I like the way, Drones is coming off a game where he was 27 of 32. But I feel like just going to be slightly below.
Some jerk's going to drop a pass in the fourth quarter, and it's going to cost Nick and I. Yeah.
I also think of note, it's just the quarterback. So if there's a Chick-fil-A or something,
Yes.
that
That's
doesn't
fair,
hurt us
that's
here
fair.
in terms of the numbers. But I am going to sell this one as well. Will does that, and the fans are also going to sell that line. But Nick is going to buy it and join Chris on that prediction. Let's go to line number 3. Buy or sell that the two teams combine for 325 plus rushing yards.
I bought it. Seems like an offensive game. I'm buying.
I bought it too. I think Smothers is gonna have a good game, and I think Tech will be able to move the ball a little bit on the ground too. So offensively,
Yeah, I bought this one. I underestimated the Hokies' rushing attack. I think a couple weeks ago against ODU, and I think they got up to 160, something like that. I think NC State will get at least that much because I do like Smothers to gain quite a few yards. So, say NC State runs for 200, and you just need 125 from Tech. I think that number gets hit.
So it looks like I'm the lone wolf this week selling that one. It was a real close one for me there, but I'm going to sell it. Everybody else is going to buy that the two teams combine for 325 plus. Well, we're going to have 2 more lines in this video, but first, a message from one of our sponsors at Tech Sideline.
This episode of the Tech Sideline podcast is brought to you by the Robertson and Cox Real Estate Team. Are you looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? We've got your back. Centrally located in Radford, Virginia, the RNC team is proudly and professionally serving the New River Valley, Roanoke, and Southwest Virginia. With over 35 combined years of experience, we have all the knowledge needed to help you reach your real estate goals and have the best experience possible. Contact us today for all your real estate needs. Visit randcteam.com to learn more.
All right, 2 more lines in this video, and we're going to keep it on the offensive end. Will the two teams combine for 450 plus passing yards?
Yes, buying. Virginia Tech hasn't been able to stop anybody with a pulse from throwing the ball, and NC State hasn't stopped anybody either. They gave up a ton of big plays on in the passing game, so I'm buying.
it's a great description. I feel the exact same way. I'm buying. I think a lot of passing. CJ Bailey's thrown for a lot of yards recently, but I think this is a game where Kyron's going to throw for a little bit too. No defense. I don't expect any defense to be played on Saturday. It's just going to be a who hands the ball to the other team more, maybe. A lot of turnovers, maybe.
Who's going to lose?
Yeah, but we'll see. There's also weather could factor into this, and could be like, oh, maybe they don't even throw for 300 because it's wet. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Yeah, I bought this one. Even though I don't know that the completion percentage will be up there, I think, certainly if one team is scoring, the other team's going to have to try to score. So that leads to a lot of passing yards. So I think 450, that's a doable number there.
I'm going to buy it as well. Will buy it also, but Nick and the fans are going to sell that number on that. And let's end it with this one. Shout out special teams. Buy or sell teams combined for 6+ punts.
Chris,
all buys.
I was going to say, Chris,
week.
you go
all
buy
buys.
across the board. You did.
It doesn't make sense for me to say it's going to be an offensive game than predict there to be 6+ punts. But I think there will be big plays in this game. So a lot of the drives will be quick. So there will be more drives.
I agree.
So I'm going with. I went ahead and bought that one.
I agree. There have been a lot of punts from both teams this season. NC State's punter has a great name, Caden Noonkester. I looked it up. I don't know that there's any relation to the Noonkester who played for Virginia Tech in the 90s. But I'll dig into that a little bit more. But yeah, I expect a lot of punts between him and Nick Velsistis, who's been pretty good for Tech so far. But when the best player is your punter.
Yeah, I don't trust this Virginia Tech offense not to bog down enough. Say Virginia Tech punts 4 times. NC State's not going to punt more than twice. I think 6 is a very gettable number on this one. So I bought this.
I'm in the same logic there on that as I am buying it. The fans are going to buy it, but Nick and Will sell that final line there. So that is what the board looks like for this edition, but should be very fascinating to see who comes out on top after this week. Once again, all buys from Chris there.
That's pretty crazy.
It didn't work last week.
Right. Yeah. It did not.
So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm not doing that intentionally.
Yeah, it just happened.
I think you are. I think you're getting lazy. You're like, all buys. Just put it in.
Well, Chris bought everything except for he sold the Wofford 2. He sold everything last week except for the Wofford 2 QBs. You bought that.
Oh, that's right. I did think I did all. I think for the second.
But it was last week was a lot of buys.
Yeah, I went all buys.
Yeah, it's always great when Andy and I are on the same page because I sit and track it in the press box. Like we talk about it during the game.
Yeah.
So it's like when Andy and I are on the same page, it makes it very easy because it's like, we need 325 rushing yards, and everybody else in the press box looking around going, what are these guys talking about?
I love the TSL Slack during a game because when that guy's helmet came off, Andy's immediately like, boom.
Because he didn't do anything. He just handed it off. If you just looked at the stats, you go, did 2 quarterbacks play? Right. Oh, 2 quarterbacks play.
They surely did. That's right.
Well, thank you so much for watching this edition of Buy or Sell ahead of the matchup against NC State. We'll be back next week with another one, and we'll have to see how the results paired out. So we will see you next week for another edition of Buy or Sell.